Hey guys, Son of the Canadian Rider. Today we're going to be doing a video on the top 5 safety tips for your motorcycle. Number 1 is always kind of forgotten about, but you really need to look at it, is always checking your bike out before you go for a ride. So you need to make sure, A, that your bike is in proper working condition. I'm talking about inspecting the chain, especially inspecting the tires, guys. Those small contact patches that you have on your tires, if something goes wrong with that, you are fucked. So if you got a nail in your tire or something, or your tire's flat for whatever reason, you really need to make sure you find out before you get out on a ride, because if you're making a turn or something, that can compromise your ability to turn, that can compromise the fact that you're on your motorcycle, you may go down. So really make sure you always check over your motorcycle before you go for a ride. So number 2, guys, super important, and I tell this to people all the time. I made a separate video about it, the risk assessment Squid vs. ATGAT video, is you always want to make sure that you're wearing the best gear that you can afford. Now, I know there's a huge heated topic about this, but my buddy just got in an accident too. He was wearing the gloves, he was wearing the jacket, the helmet, and he was protected from a lot of the injury that he could have sustained in his accident. So I'm a big preacher of wearing full gear. I have all my gear reviews. You can see what I'm wearing: the Dainese gloves, the Dainese New Drake Air pants, the Dainese boots, Dainese jacket, whatever. You can check out some of those reviews down in the description below. But seriously, guys, try to get the best gear you can afford. Anything can help you, even if it gives you a 1% chance to come out of an accident uninjured. It's worth it. So number 3 is probably one of the most important things on the road when it comes to motorcycle safety, is defensive riding. Guys, you always want to be in a protective bubble on the streets. Now, my buddy who got in an accident, he actually failed on some of this stuff here that I'm about to talk about, which led to his accident. So always keeping a good bubble in front of you, always like looking at what the car ahead is doing. You got to keep an eye on what the car ahead is doing, what the cars ahead of him are doing. Always keeping an eye on that. Always making sure you're in a defensive blocking position. So I am on the left lane, I am on the right tire track, so I'm providing blocking position for myself. I'm always looking to make sure I'm making eye contact with the other riders or drivers out there on the road, so they know where I am. Luckily, my bike's pretty damn loud, so people know that I'm coming anyway, but I like to make eye contact, making sure that you know what's behind you, you know what's in front of you, you know what's to your side. You always want to stay out of blind spots, guys. So always thinking about defense when you're out on the streets. And a great tip, and something that's really good, now I'm going to do the example here. If you're staying on the left or right tire track lane, for example here, I can completely see what's going on 20 cars down in front of me. This car is here. For example, let's say, like, see right here, emergency braking. Let's say I fail to brake properly here and I miss. I can go, I'm still right here. I'm not going to hit into the back of this Corolla, so I'll be safe. So that's a nice little thing about riding on the left or right tire track lanes, that a lot of times these guys in the cars, they're either on the left or right side of the lane, and this kind of gives you that extra option just in case you can't swerve over to the right if there's a car on your blind spot. Number 4, preparing for the road and weather conditions. So this is also very key. You don't want to go out in your summer jacket when it's piss pouring outside and it's freezing. This is going to affect your ability to ride. It's going to affect your decision-making ability. So you're not going to be operating your motorcycle as effectively as you would be if you were prepared for the weather. Road conditions are also important by scanning ahead of you, what's in front of you. You want to always see, because remember, you have only 2 small contact patches on your tires. If anything gets in the way between the road and your tires, that could be a problem for you. So a big key here is that you always want to stay on the left or right tire track lane to avoid any oil on the middle lane from cars. You always want to be scanning for potholes, guys, gravel, loose gravel, flying objects, especially on highway, cars on the highway or trucks. Always want to be looking ahead and scanning. If you do see a pothole or something, put a little bit of pressure on your foot pegs, kind of sit on them a bit more or stand on them a bit more. It'll kind of help alleviate the bump. But if you can, avoid the pothole. If you can't, try to brace for it as much as possible. It's really important, guys, always looking ahead, always scanning the road, what's in front of you, making sure that you're prepared and safe for what's coming. And finally, guys, this last tip probably gets people in the most trouble, is riding their own ride. Now, especially if you're riding in a group of friends, there's a lot of different skill levels in this group of friends. You don't want to kind of take yourself above what you can do to catch up with the group. If you feel uncomfortable going at the pace they're going at, just tell one of them, hey, you know what, I'll be behind you, I'll try to keep up. Or if they're good friends, I hope you have some good friends, they'll slow down for you at spots. You know, they can have their little rip here and there, but they'll slow down for you at spots so you can catch up. The key is, guys, riding your own ride, you want to become a better rider, but you don't do that by taking massive steps that jeopardize your safety. You want to take incremental steps, you know, doing that turn a little bit faster, maybe doing a maneuver that you might not have been so comfortable with a little bit better. You just don't want to take any major chances to, you know, sustain your ego if you're on your motorcycle, okay? We want to sustain your life. We don't want you dying, and you won't have an ego to worry about after that. So Again, guys, you have to remember, don't go over the limit that you feel comfortable and safe on your motorcycle. You always want to be feeling in control of what you're doing on the motorcycle. And if you're going way above what you think you can do on the motorcycle, you're out of your comfort zone, and that's going to lead to shit. So please, guys, that tip is really important. Ride your own ride. So those are my top 5 safety tips for your motorcycle, guys. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down below. I'd love to talk about safety with you guys. If you have any better tips, you think, hey, Canadian rider, this is probably a better idea for them, you know what? Put them down in the comment box below and we can chat. If you like this video, like it. If you dislike this video, dislike it. Subscribe to my channel, guys. Really love the community, the followers that we've been getting. I love the fact that you guys are being involved in the videos, you know, asking questions, commenting. I love that stuff, and I love participating with you guys. So until the next video, I will see you then.